Arsenal would have gone for Jose Mourinho had he not gone to Spurs. You tell him to sort out what's going on the pitch and maybe the fans won't boo him. Monday afternoons mean TFW because all you guys have left your important opinions in our community tab. So we're going to talk about loads of them because the weekend's football was absolutely fire. First off, we're talking about managers who need to get the sack because I'm not going to lie, there's quite a few of them. First off, Mitchell Remke said there is so much wrong happening at Arsenal. Do you think they should sack their manager or get a better captain? We spoke about this captain things, about 5 players being captain at Arsenal. Obviously Xhaka, then there was Aubameyang as well, and there's loads of other players. To me, it's literally clear that no matter who they change as captain, the manager's just completely lost the dressing room. Unai Emery just has not got what it takes to take Arsenal forward. And the problem is, at the moment, other teams are now realising that their managers aren't good enough and they're getting rid of them. Bayern Munich, Niko Kovac. Spurs have got rid of Mauricio Pochettino. I was going to say Mourinho there. Mourinho has come into Spurs. And it's really looking like Arsenal need to act fast, otherwise they're not going to have another option. TFW has also said, after consecutive bad results, should Arsenal move to sack Emery like Spurs and Poch? Should they remain even though he supposedly lost the dressing room? As we mentioned now, the fact that clubs are now starting to sack their managers mean Arsenal are going to be left behind. I'm not saying all Arsenal fans would have been super happy with Jose Mourinho, but let's face it, if they'd sacked Emery 1 week before Spurs sacked Pochettino, Arsenal would have gone for Mourinho. Whether or not he would have accepted it or not is regardless, we could debate that all day. Arsenal would have gone for Jose Mourinho had he not gone to Spurs, even if he would have rejected them, regardless. So now that they've waited too long, right, Pochettino's not going to go to Arsenal, Mourinho's been chalked off the list, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might be sacked by Manchester United and then they'll pick up Pochettino. Kovac may go elsewhere. Arsenal need to be acting fast if they're going to get someone in. Allegri could be picked up by someone else. Arteta could decide that, you know what, Guardiola may leave, so I'm going to stick around and hang out for the Man City job. They need to act sooner rather than later. Timothy Onyango has said, is it time to sack Emery, as we've just discussed, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Normally I'd say yes. If you look at what Mourinho got sacked for last year, with falling out with the players, not really trusting him, and the amount of points he had after 13 games, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is far worse off. I think he's like almost 9 points worse off than Mourinho was this time last year. But on the flip side of this, Prince Will Madugba has said Sheffield and Manchester United's game was insane. The players seem to want to play for Solskjaer and his better performers have been his youngsters. So is this a sort of, we'll stick with Solskjaer even though he's kind of bad and hope that the youngsters come good? I'm not so sure they're actually willing to play for him. I just think it was a good spell. Like, they had that amazing spell, they bagged 3 goals, confidence was high, Rashford was doing his thing, you know, as one of the better players at United. They did fine, but it clearly wasn't there for the whole game. No disrespect to Sheffield United, who are a brilliant side, but United, they need to be more dominant. They can't just go through patches. And I'm sure, honestly, things can only get better for Man United. Ole is going to improve with the results, and if he doesn't, they're going to fire him and Pochettino's going to come in. It's going to be a win-win situation for United. One way or another, they will be getting better soon. Talking of managers who are going to get sacked, Afua Ayo has brought it up, saying Marcus Silva is overrated and the luckiest manager in the Premier League in terms of getting decent jobs. Correct. Marcus Silva needs to go. Honestly, with the amount of money and the quality of players that Everton have got, there's no excuses for what he is doing. Luis Pagano has also agreed, time to sack our manager. Everton fan, bring either Marcelino or Roger Schmidt in. Silva's not up for the task. Marcelino would be class. That'd be a really, really good signing. Also, for those of you Barcelona fans who want Valverde out, we know every single week it's just not going right. Valverde needs to go. I'm not going to talk about it every week on TFW until something changes, which at the moment it doesn't look like it's going to be happening for a long time. Player performance, because Boy Jeremiah has actually brought up an amazing one about Nicolas Pepe. So he said, did Lille offload him at the perfect time? He had a poor African Cup of Nations. He was fantastic last season, but his team allowed to pay in instalments as if no one else wanted him. And he also said his start is way too poor to say he still needs time. Okay, maybe I disagree with that last bit. He needs a little time. A very good point though. Lille were willing to accept instalments over the next 5 years, I believe it is, rather than taking 70 odd mil up front, because they couldn't get it from anyone else. No other team who was linked with Pepe, and this summer, bloody everyone was linked with Nicolas Pepe this summer. Obviously, no other team thought, you know what, he's worth 70 million up front, can't be asked for the instalments. So eventually, Lille had to accept, I think it was 25 million in the summer, maybe a little bit more, and then the rest of it over 5 years. Maybe that was saying something. Maybe they saw something that Arsenal didn't. Nicolas Pepe off last year's record is unbelievable. Like, if I was a manager, I'd sign him, having looked at what he did at Lille last season. But maybe there's something behind it that Pepe really just isn't quite that player just yet. And of all managers, he's not going to develop under Unai Emery. He needs proper coaching. Rudo 11 as well. This is a big one. This is, I know, going to start a debate in the comment section, so let me know. Liverpool have to start keeping clean sheets. How can they call their defence the best in the world and they have 2 clean sheets so far this season? So, a quick fact check, especially this is quite pertinent with the Ballon d'Or coming up. For Virgil van Dijk, a massive part of this Liverpool defence. 2 clean sheets in the last 23 games. It's fine because they have such a phenomenal attack, they're scoring more goals than the opposition. But if the Ballon d'Or is for individual performance, Virgil van Dijk has 2 clean sheets in 23 games. That's relegation level of clean sheets, just about. So can he really be in line for the Ballon d'Or with that poor performance? If Messi, or, you know, I think Messi's the main rival to Van Dijk, Sadio Mane also up there as well. If they'd scored in 2 games out of 23, you'd be like, their form's shocking. And obviously it's not just down to Van Dijk. I'm fully aware that someone could score a great goal, or someone could beat Matip or Robertson or Trent to score. But if that's what you're going to talk about, and going back to Liverpool, they're going to need to start keeping clean sheets for the games where they can't get over the line, when they don't get a penalty last minute, when they don't get a fortunate goal or a VAR goal chalked off. It's a very valid point from Rudel. Massive, very good point. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're moving on to a bit from around Europe because Nicolas Simos has said, given Atleti's recent problems, is Pochettino a good fit for them? I mean, Atleti's problems are in front of goal. And obviously, selling Antoine Griezmann and not really replacing him. João Felix is more of a number 10. No one's replacing the goals from Griezmann, not Morata, not Diego Costa. I'm not sure what Pochettino would bring that Simeoni doesn't. We all know Atleti's style of play. Simeone's got the players that fit his style of play. They're also not conceding that many. They just need to score more. I honestly think with a striker, a proper striker who's getting them goals, they'll be absolutely fine and they'll be pushing second or third, unfortunately, like they are most years. I'm not so sure Pochettino. Pochettino would be good and he'd have them playing differently. I'm not sure it would bring anything better than Simeone's already got. And I also don't think Atleti are going to go ahead and sack Simeoni for that reason alone. And lastly but not least, a little bit I wanted to talk about Gareth Bale. So Zidane has come out and said he doesn't want the supporters to boo Gareth Bale because it's not going to help the team, yada, yada, yada. I get it, you don't want it to boo the players, but I'm completely going against Zinedine Zidane on this one. Bale is dancing in front of that flag, shows complete disrespect to Real Madrid, hasn't played in 2 months, right? And then suddenly is fit for all the Wales qualifiers. Those fans pay their money, right? Normally I say get behind the team, but you pay your money to go at the stadium. You have your opinion. If a player is disrespecting your club like that, sure, have a bit of a boo. I'm not saying abuse him on social media. I'm not saying send death threats. I'm not saying, call him all sorts of names in the media. You turn up to the stadium and you're seeing a guy, play for the team, pretending to play his heart out when really, he really doesn't care that much. Yeah, sure, have a quick boo. But that's as far as it goes. As for Zinedine Zidane, mate, you have a word with Gareth Bale in your team. You tell him to sort out what's going on the pitch and maybe the fans won't boo him. But that's just my opinion at the end of TFW this week. Of course, let me know yours on a Sunday night. Make sure you look out for the community post on YouTube. And yeah, let me know all of your thoughts and the rest of your opinions in the comment section down below. Smash the like button whilst you're there. And also check around for the latest stuff on Onefootball too. But until next time, until next Monday with TFW, we'll see you guys later.